Are you thinking about selling your home in Cleveland, Ohio for the very first time? Well, you may be asking yourself, how long is this going to take? Do I need a remodel? Do I need to stage my home? And what happens if I price it wrong? Well, don't worry. In this video, I'll be breaking down a simple step-by-step guide to help first-time home sellers in Cleveland sell with confidence in 2025. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to expect and how to avoid the biggest and most common mistakes. I'm Haley Connors, your CLE homegirl Haley, a Northeast Ohio Realtor and relocation expert. I help buyers and sellers every week, and I've guided many first-time people through this process. Today, we're going to be covering how long it takes to sell a home in Cleveland, some smart staging tips that help homes sell faster, and whether or not you should remodel before you list it. And last but not least, how you should price your home right in this 2025 market. And if you want a full step-by-step checklist, send me a message to 216-925-7265 or go down below and click my Calendly link to schedule a call. And I'll share my first-time seller guide with you. And one of the first questions I always get from people is, how long is it actually going to take to sell my house? Well, right now in Cleveland, the average home sits on the market between 30 to 45 days before going under contract, but that number can change based on your location. I did another video on that, so feel free to check that out, your price point, and your home's condition. For example, homes under $250K in popular suburbs, such as Parma and Lakewood right now, they often go under contract in a matter of weeks. Meanwhile, higher-end homes, say $500,000 or up, in Solon or Westlake, those can take longer because there's fewer buyers in that price range in these areas. But here's something most first-time sellers don't realize. There's also press time before you list. You want at least 2 to 3 weeks to declutter, do some touch-ups, take professional photos, and create marketing for this home. So from the day you decide to sell, expect about 60 to 75 days total for the whole process. That's including prep, listing, and getting an offer. Of course, once you're under contract, closing usually takes about 30 more days to 45, depending on the buyer's financing. So the key takeaway here, don't assume your home's going to sell overnight, but also don't panic if it doesn't sell in the first week. Every neighborhood moves at its own pace. So, time to talk about some staging. And no, you don't have to hire a professional stager for thousands of dollars to make a big difference. The goal of staging is actually very simple. Make your home look bigger, brighter, and easier for buyers to imagine themselves living there. Some practical staging tips I tend to give my Cleveland sellers are declutter and depersonalize. You want to take down personal photos, family memories, collections, and excess furniture. The less you that's in the house, it's easier for buyers to picture themselves there. And neutral colors sell. A quick coat of light gray, beige, or soft white can make a huge difference. In Cleveland, buyers love that clean, move-in ready look. You also want to focus on curb appeal. First impressions do matter. Mow that lawn, add some fresh mulch, and maybe paint the front door. It costs little but can add thousands to your offer price. You also want it light and bright. Open your blinds, add brighter light bulbs, and make sure every room feels extra welcoming. If you want to go to the extra mile, simple upgrades such as new cabinet hardware, some fresh tiles in the bathroom, and a couple of modern decor pieces can make a huge difference in pictures. In fact, staged homes in Cleveland typically sell 20 to 30% faster than unstaged ones, and often for more money. And who doesn't want that? Even a few simple touches can set your home apart from others in the same exact neighborhood. Now, this is a big one. Should you remodel before you sell? Well, the truth is, not always. In fact, most of the time you won't get dollar for dollar back on big remodels before you sell. So here's the rule of thumb. You want to stick to high impact, low cost. Some fresh paint, updated light fixtures, and clean flooring, those go a long way. In kitchens, a modern backsplash or a new cabinet hardware can refresh the space without breaking the bank. Now, bathrooms, new mirrors, light fixtures, and grout cleaning often do the trick. Now, when should you skip these updates? Well, if your home's likely to attract investors or fixer-up buyers, you're usually better off pricing it fairly and letting the buyer handle all the upgrades. But in popular suburbs such as Solon, Strongsville, Westlake, buyers are more willing to pay top dollar for homes that feel move-in ready. Now, in those markets, spending $3,000 on fresh paint and carpet might help you sell faster and for more money. The bottom line, talk with your realtor about your neighborhood before investing in big remodels. In Cleveland, it's not about having a perfect home. It's about having a home that's priced right for its condition. Pricing is one of the most stressful parts of selling. Price too high and your home could sit for months. Price too low and you'll leave money on the table. In Cleveland's 2025 market, buyers are educated. They're looking at Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com every single day. They know when a home's overpriced. That's why we use the CMA, a comparative market analysis, to price correctly. It looks at similar homes that have recently sold in the area, plus what's currently pending. Pending sales are especially important because they show what buyers are paying right now. So if 3 similar homes in Parma sold between $210,000 and $220,000 in the last 90 days, and one just went pending at $225,000, that gives you a strong clue about your price range. The goal is you want to find the sweet spot, high enough to get you top dollar, but not so high that buyers ignore your home. Remember, homes that sit on the market too long often need a price cut, which actually ends up costing sellers more in the long run. Pricing at round numbers like $200,000 or $250,000 puts you in more online search brackets. That means more eyes on your listing. Selling your home first in Cleveland doesn't have to be overwhelming. Remember, it usually takes 30 to 45 days to sell, plus prep and closing time. Simple staging like decluttering and curb appeal helps homes sell faster. You want to focus on the small updates, not big remodels, unless your market demands it. Price your home using a CMA to attract the right buyers from the start. And if you're a first-time seller in Cleveland, Ohio, or Northeast Ohio, message me today for my first-time seller checklist at 216-925-7265. Again, it's going to be a free step-by-step guide that walks you through exactly what to do before you list. And if you're thinking about selling in the next 6 to 12 months, grab a spot on my calendar down below so we can map out and plan together. Just click the Calendly link to schedule a quick call, or feel free to send me a text to go over when we could talk. Now, make sure you subscribe for more local real estate tips and click the playlist, the seller playlist, to see more seller needs. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.